Welcome to the Activated Story Theater's 177th podcast.
This episode we bring you The Goblin's Bridge, a tale from Germany.
Hi, I'm Dennis.
And I'm Kimberly.
And together we are the
Activated Actors. We are coming to you from Foxborough, Massachusetts.
Where they probably have a few foxes around. There are a lot of trees around. So
Actually, you saw a fox, didn't you?
I saw a fox.
South of Boston.
Yes, not in Foxborough, but not too far from here. It was in
Abington.
In Abington, yes.
Yeah.
Really nice red fox. I was out jogging through the woods and I came upon a fox.
Yeah. We are doing shows. We just did a show in Billerica, Massachusetts, and we have another show coming up in Connecticut that is open to the public. We will give you those details at the end of the episode, so stay tuned. After the story, we'll tell you where we are performing live, so you can see a show on stage with sets, costumes, props, and more than just voices.
Yes, and since we last saw you, Kimberly had a birthday.
I did, and I had an adventure on my birthday. I flew out to California, and I got to spend my first birthday with my birth mother and my mom. So we had a great celebration. It was like a girls' couple of days out. We had so much fun. We were near Pismo Beach, and I took my mom's on a sand dune Humvee ride. So you have to ride in an Army Humvee, and we went over the sand dunes. Oh my goodness, we have not laughed and screamed, and we we had a wonderful time. So lots of adventures out there in Pismo with my two moms, my birth mom and the mom that raised me. So yeah, I flew out for a couple of days, got to spend some good fun time with them, and we had some good meals, lots of laughs, and lots of memories.
And of course, she left me here on the East Coast.
Well, yeah, somebody had to stay and hold down the fort.
Oh, and also since last time you did the color run.
I did my first 5K, which is about 3 miles, and I actually ran the whole thing. I wasn't sure I'd be able to do it because I am not a runner. I only started running in like February. So yeah, I kind of challenged myself to do it. It was a fun way to do a first 5K because a color run, you're running along, and then there's these stations, and you can walk it if you want to. You don't have to run it. There were kids doing it, all ages, all sizes. Everybody was doing the 5K. So some people were walking it, some people were running it, and as you're going along, there's these stations. When you get that far, they will throw colored, it looks like chalk, but it's actually colored cornstarch on you. So you're supposed to wear white, and by the end of the race, you're very colorful. So That's why they call it a color run. It was a fun celebration.
So that was in Rhode Island, and that catches us up to date.
Yeah, with our adventures.
Your adventures.
That's true. You need to go have more adventures.
I need to go have more adventures, yes. I need to get an RV and hit the road.
Yeah, you should do that.
I should do that. So. Especially for the haunting season. Whoa.
Because it's October, isn't it?
Yes. We have a story from Germany about a goblin.
Yes. Alrighty, this is The Goblin's Bridge, a story from Germany.
Long ago in Germany, there was a farmer named Hans. Well, actually, there was probably more than one farmer in Germany named Hans, but this is about a particular farmer named Hans who tended sheep and his wife Griselda. Well, that doesn't mean he tended his wife Griselda. It means he tended sheep and he had a wife named Griselda who tended the house. Anyway, every morning Hans would drive the sheep out to pasture, and then in the evening he would bring them back home. Trouble was, there was a big swamp between him and the pasture, and he had to drive his sheep all the way around it. Boy, it takes a long time to drive these sheep around the swamp. Oh well, what's time to a sheep? But one morning, when he was very tired, he came to the swamp and said, "Oh, these mornings seem to get earlier and earlier. I'm so exhausted, and with so much work to do, I'm really swamped. I'd give anything if only there was a bridge across this swamp." Sounds like a storm may be coming, too. When it rains, it pours.
Greetings, friend.
Who are you?
I'm the Goblin, who emerges from the swamp every Tuesday in October when there's a harvest moon and the Yankees are in the playoffs.
I'm Hans the farmer, and I'm here under a much broader set of circumstances.
I know, and you're in luck. I just heard you say that you would give anything for a bridge over this swamp, right?
Well, something like that, I guess. Not that I have a lot to give.
Well, I don't need much. Just one of your sheep, and I'll gladly build a bridge for you. You don't have to pay me until the job's done.
Well, I don't know.
Let me sweeten the deal a bit. One sheep, if and only if I can finish building the bridge in 3 days. If I don't finish the job by the time the rooster crows Friday morning, you don't owe me mutton.
Well, that's a good deal, I guess, but...
And I'll go ahead and finish the bridge anyway for free. What do you say?
Well, I guess that's an offer I can't refuse. Very well.
Shake on it.
Huh? Oh, I guess so. My, what clammy hands you have.
Excellent. And since the thunder pealed just as we shook hands, then according to Goblin law, I get a bonus.
Bonus? What kind of bonus?
Oh, it's nothing really. Just that if I do succeed in building the bridge in 3 days, then I get to eat not only a sheep, but you and your wife as well. That's all. Well, I'll grab my tools and get to work.
Well, wait. Now that the bonus is added, I'm not so sure I like our little deal. I think I'd like to undeal it.
Too late. We goblins have an old saying. If the thunder pealed, the deal is sealed. Well, I'll see ya to settle accounts when the rooster crows Friday morning. Have a nice day.
Oh, something tells me my wife is not going to be thrilled by this arrangement. And as it turns out, his hunch was right. When he went home that night...
Good evening, dear. Did you have a nice day at work?
Oh, it was the usual, more or less. I drove the sheep around the swamp to pasture, and then I brought them home. And, oh yes, I made a deal with the Goblin to build a bridge over the swamp in 3 days, or else he'll eat a sheep and both of us. Just the usual stuff, you know.
Huh? Of all of the contractors to hire to build a bridge, why did you have to pick a goblin?
Actually, he sort of picked me. And he didn't exactly read me the fine print before we shook hands. And the fine print is that if he finishes the bridge by the time the rooster crows Friday morning, he gets to eat both of us and a sheep.
Well, I don't think you, that is we, have anything to worry about. I doubt if anyone, even a goblin, could build a bridge across the swamp in 3 days.
I'm not so sure about that. He's already made a very good start. I passed back by there on the way home, and he has about 15% of the bridge built already.
Ooh, at that rate, he can't possibly succeed.
He can't?
Of course not. He has to sleep, right? So, if he worked for about 10 hours a day and he's completed about 15% of the bridge, he has to work 2 more days of 10 hours each. And that would give him only 45% of the bridge finished after 3 days.
I'm glad that one of us paid attention in math class. So that night when Hans went to bed, he rested easy. At least for a few minutes. And then... Hey, what's that noise I hear? It sounds like hammering or something. Let me just open the window while I explain to myself what I'm doing, and it seems to be coming from down by the swamp. I didn't know there were any woodpeckers down there. Wait a minute. That's an actual hammer, and it sounds like it's hammering actual nails. And I'm afraid the hammering is being done by an actual goblin. And if so, that makes me actually concerned. The next morning, as he led his sheep to pasture, he came to the swamp, and sure enough...
Good morning. Hope you slept well.
Not really.
Why not? You have plenty of sheep you could count.
You worked all night, didn't you?
Yep. Gotta get this bridge done. And goblins don't have a union.
It looks like you're about 30% done.
Give or take. What, am I being graded?
Don't you think you need to stop and rest for a while?
Nah. I can wait till after the job is done. And then I can put in a nice long sleep after my 3-course meal.
So that night when Hans went home, he was more worried than ever. Of course I'm worried. I passed by the Goblin again on the way home, and he was still working, and he was about 50% done. How much time does he have left?
Well, 2 nights and 1 day. Oh, plus a couple of hours, maybe.
Could he finish the bridge in that amount of time?
It's possible if he works without stopping. But according to the latest groundhog, there's a big storm on its way tonight. Surely the Goblin will stop to take shelter.
I certainly hope you're right. And that night a storm did come. The wind howled and the lightning raged and the rain pounded until the farmer's house was almost blown away. And then the next morning, wow, that was quite a meteorological event last night. There are trees sleeping on the job everywhere. Well, at least my sheep are all okay. Hey, with any luck, the storm blew the Goblin away, or blew the bridge down, so he'll have to start all over. But when he got there, oh no, the bridge is still there, and at least the 65% of it that's been built.
More like 75%, I'd say.
Ah, who said that?
It's me! I'm way out here! The bridge is longer, so I'm further away now. Duh.
You mean you worked all night during the storm?
Of course! It'll take a lot more than a storm to get rid of me.
That's just great.
See ya when the rooster crows!
This time Hans was very worried indeed, and when he went home and told Griselda about it, and when I came home this evening he was already 85% done, maybe 90%. So I guess we'd better prepare to be eaten tomorrow.
Not if I can help it. There must be something we can do.
Now, dear, you were already wrong about him not working at night, and about him not working during a storm. I don't think being wrong a third time will help matters any.
Well, then I'd better be right this time. This time, I'm not just guessing about what he will or won't do. I have an idea about what I can do. And I'm pretty sure it'll work.
I sure hope so. Otherwise, we're going to gain inside knowledge about goblins. Well, that night there was no way Hans could get to sleep, even if he hadn't heard the Goblin hammering away on the bridge. And Griselda didn't even try to sleep. Instead, she stayed up half the night, and then she went out to the chicken coop and borrowed a rooster and quietly carried it down to the swamp.
Come along, Roger. I have a special job for you. You have a talent that I really, truly need. You're ticklish.
And with that, she began to tickle the rooster.
Come on. I know you can do it.
Until...
What? It's tomorrow already? Even though it's still tonight? Huh. If you ask me, it's too dark to be daylight. But roosters can tell time better than I can, so I guess this means I failed to complete the bridge in time. Oh, and I was so close! Oh, well, guess I'll have to go find some more humans who'll fall for my scheme.
And after Griselda went back home and told Hans, "You did it! I knew you could. But hey, the Goblin said that he'd still finish the job even if he failed to complete it in 3 days. Maybe I should go remind him."
Let's not press our luck.
Oh, right.
And that's the story of the Goblin's Bridge from Germany.
Whoa.
Spooky Goblin under the bridge. What are you guys going to be for Halloween? Ooh, I want to know.
I'm going to be an adult.
Yeah, that's scary. That's really scary. Well, if you want to let us know what you're going to be for Halloween, you can tweet at us on at Activated on Twitter, or you could let us know on our Facebook page. We'd like to know what you're going to be for Halloween. That'd be fun to find out. And we are, like I said, we're going to be having a show coming up in Connecticut.
On November the 6th, Greenwich, Connecticut, 3 p.m. at the Greenwich Library.
We'll be doing 2 stories from our current show. So you will either see the 3 pigs or Anansi in the story box.
Or you will see the Shadow Builders, or you will see
Old Joe and the Carpenter. So we'll do 2 stories at the library. You got to come find out which stories it's going to be, but they will be live on stage, sets, costumes.
And if you're anywhere east of Albuquerque, you're in the area.
There you go.
So come on to Connecticut.
Come on to Connecticut. Hope to see you at the show. Love meeting our podcast listeners. And if you can't make that one, check our schedule. We've got shows coming up near you this spring, especially if you are on the West Coast. Make sure you check our schedule. It is activatedstorytheater.com/schedule.html. That'll take you straight to our schedule page. Or go to Facebook and there is an events page on our Facebook page. I think we're Activated Fans on Facebook.
All right, that about wraps it up for this time. So stay activated.
And thanks for listening. Catch you next time.
Activated Story Theater is committed to bringing fun, educational shows to schools and libraries nationwide. On stage, we use physical comedy, American Sign Language, imaginative props, and a giant, oversized book to bring multicultural folktales to life. For booking information, check out our website, activatedstorytheater.com, where you can also find out when the activated actors will be performing near you. Read a story, or order one of our audio CDs. You can subscribe to this podcast on iTunes or listen on Stitcher. We look forward to your comments and folktale suggestions. Stay activated. Until next time.